we're going to start tapping about whatever it is that you want to work on. So start tapping and tell me what it is.
It's my sense of direction. I have very poor sense of direction. Like in places, for example, I hardly remember the names of the roads or even the direction.
Okay.
So even if I've been to that place many times.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So just saying that, where do you feel that in your body that you have a poor sense of direction?
Here.
In the what would you would you describe that place? The top of your belly or under your ribs? How would you describe it? In
Under
words?
here, just here.
Under my ribs.
Under my ribs.
Mm?
Center.
Yep. And what is it out of 10?
8.
And if you could describe it as an object or a shape, what would it be?
Circle. Something rough.
A rough circle?
Yeah.
Does it
I
have a
recall
colour?
It's not a football, but back in our place we have this something made of abaca. We call it abaca.
Abaca.
Yeah, it's a light ball.
A light ball and it's rough. Does it have a colour?
Brown.
Brown. Okay, and what was it out of 10?
7.
7. Okay. Even though I have this poor sense of direction,
Even though I have this poor sense of direction,
sometimes I can't remember road signs and names.
sometimes I can't remember. Not only sometimes, but oftentimes.
Often I can't
I
remember
can't remember roads.
roads, even when I've been there many times.
Even if I've been there many times.
And it feels like this rough ball
And it feels like this rough ball
made of abaca,
made of abaca.
just under my ribs.
Just
Under my ribs.
under my ribs.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and everything I'm feeling,
and everything I'm feeling.
and I ask my body,
And I ask my body,
where does this come from?
where is this coming from?
So I can process and release it.
So that I can process and release it.
Even though I have this poor sense of direction,
Even though I have this poor sense of direction,
I often can't remember road
I
signs.
often can't remember road signs.
And it feels like this rough ball
And it feels like this rough ball
under my ribs,
under my ribs,
made of abaca.
made of abaca.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and I ask my body, where does it come from?
and I ask my body, where does it come from?
So I can process and release it.
So that I can process and release it.
Even though I've
As
never
something
been...
comes up,
See, we haven't even got 3 times through. What's come up? Okay. All this emotion, just tap on it. I've got this memory, all this emotion. I accept myself deeply and completely. Look at me. All this emotion. I accept myself deeply and completely. All this emotion, processing and releasing it. Look at me. I've got this memory. Look at me. I've got this memory. Processing and releasing all of this emotion. This memory that came up. No wonder I have poor sense of direction. Everything I remember, what I saw, what I heard, processing and releasing it. I'm safe right here, right now to process and release it. All the way back to its origin, wherever it began. I'm safe right here, right now, with my feet on the floor, tapping your feet. Tap your feet. I'm safe right here, right now to process and release it.
I'm safe right here, right now, to process and release it.
All of this
All
emotion.
of these emotions.
I can even have tissues.
I can even have tissues.
Processing and releasing.
Processing and releasing
All of this emotion.
all of these emotions.
All the way back to that memory.
All the way back to that memory.
All the way back to that
All the
memory.
way back to that memory. It has something to do with authority figures. Yeah. I'm always anxious when there are authority figures. Like, when for example, I have my boss coming right in front of me, I would rather have some place to go. Like, I would choose another route, something like that, to avoid that person. And at one point, there was our university president was in the elevator, and I was about to enter, so I had no choice but to really enter. And I had I was so anxious.
And is that the earliest memory? Is that the memory that was coming up that we just sort of tapped on? You said, I have a memory.
But it's a recent memory. It's a recent one. But
When's the earliest time you had a problem with authority figures that you'd rather go a different direction?
my father was strict, but he was so loving. Yeah. And
Anything to do with an abacus and your father?
I couldn't connect that bond
Mm-hmm.
with my father. Although I grew up in a farm, but there was no abaca there.
Mm-hmm.
No abaca.
Okay. So what's a memory about your father being authoritative, or anyone else when you were young? Not just your co-worker that's recent,
Yeah.
but someone when you were younger. Nothing coming up yet? So let's go to the recent one.
Yeah.
So it was your boss or co-worker? Boss?
Co-worker at the same time, a boss.
Uh-huh.
Boss.
Yeah. And you can remember seeing her in the elevator, and you're approaching.
And not this person anymore, my immediate boss. It was the university president in the elevator.
Yeah, okay.
But
so
this
you-
time, it's my immediate boss.
Your immediate boss,
Mhm.
right? And that's a female? Female or male?
Female.
Right, so you can see your immediate boss. She's standing in the elevator. Sitting? Oh, so it's not the
wait a minute,
elevator.
it's a different person
Right.
now, but still an authority figure
Sitting in the meeting.
sitting in a meeting.
And what do you see?
I heard her commented something which in effect was about my leadership, something like that, because that was at the time. I'd rather not say it.
So she's questioning your leadership.
Something like that, but really not directly.
I feel like she's questioning my leadership.
I feel like she's questioning my leadership.
She's undermining me.
She's undermining me.
And I feel that.
And I feel that the intensity is getting lesser.
Where is it in the body then?
In my lower belly.
In my lower belly.
In my lower belly.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and my reaction to authority figures
and my reaction to authority figures
and its relationship to my poor sense of direction.
and it's my relationship to poor sense of direction.
And I choose to process it and release it
And I choose to process and release it
all the way back to its origin.
all the way back to its origin.
Even though I've got this recent memory
Even though I've got this recent memory
of my boss in a meeting
of my boss in a meeting
and she's undermining me,
and she's undermining me,
questioning my leadership,
questioning my leadership,
and I made it mean,
and I'm mad at me.
I made it
I made it mean
I can't trust my own leadership,
I can trust my own leadership,
my sense of
my
direction.
sense of direction.
I accept myself
I accept myself
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
My boss,
My boss,
sitting in the meeting.
sitting in a meeting.
I can see her and the look on her face.
Yeah, I can see her and look at her face.
I can hear the tone of her voice
I can hear the tone of her
and
voice
the words that she's saying.
and the words that she's saying.
And she's questioning my leadership.
And she's questioning my leadership.
She's undermining me.
She's undermining me.
And part of me begins to
Part of
question
me
my leadership,
begins to question my leadership,
my sense of direction
my sense of direction
in my work.
in my work. Yeah, I can also, I think it has always been like that, because even when I chose my course in college, I also had no idea what to take.
I've got no idea what to take.
I've got no idea what to take.
Just like I've got no idea which way to go.
Just like I had no idea which way to go.
Questioning my own leadership.
Questioning my own leadership.
Questioning my own sense of direction.
Questioning my own sense of direction.
Just like when I was choosing my university,
When I was choosing my university course,
I didn't know which one to do,
I didn't know which one to take.
questioning myself.
Questioning myself. Yeah, and I've always been comfortable being with a friend or anything, just like when I took up my postgraduate degree, because I have a friend.
Yeah.
Because I have somebody with me.
Mhm.
It's always been like that.
But when I'm on my own,
But when I'm on my own,
I don't trust my own sense.
I don't trust my own sense.
My own sense of
My
direction.
own sense of direction. It's so
Wow.
comfortable being with another
Uh-huh.
person or with another group.
My own sense of direction
My own sense of direction.
when I'm on my own.
When I'm on my own.
My own sense of leadership.
My own sense of leadership.
Questioning myself.
Questioning myself.
It's okay when there's others with me.
It's okay when there's others with me.
And it's not just relying on me.
And it's not just relying on me.
Questioning my own judgment.
Questioning my own judgment.
What if I go the wrong way?
What if I go the wrong way?
Questioning my own judgment.
Questioning my own judgment.
What if I go the wrong way?
What if I go the wrong way?
I get confused.
I get confused.
I don't trust my own judgment.
I don't trust my own judgment. Ah, yes, I'm afraid of failing too.
I'm afraid of failing,
I'm afraid of failing.
even with road directions.
Even with road directions.
No wonder always got a bad sense of direction.
No wonder I've always got a bad sense of direction.
I don't trust myself
I don't trust myself.
and my own judgments,
My own judgment.
my own choices,
My own choices.
fearing of failure,
Fearing of failure.
fearing failure,
Fearing failure.
fearing failure.
Fearing failure.
I go into fight or flight.
I'm going to fight or flight.
The blood drains from my frontal cortex
The blood drains from my frontal cortex.
and I get confused.
And I get confused.
I get
And
confused.
get confused. And there's also one thing, because I think I kept postponing taking the licensure exam, perhaps because of that as well, failing.
Fear of failing.
Fear of failing.
I postponed.
I postponed.
I
I
procrastinated.
procrastinate.
I haven't taken that final exam.
I haven't taken that final exam.
Because what if I fail?
Because what if I fail?
I don't trust my own
I
judgment.
don't trust my own judgment. And even this EFT, this is my second time, my God. I kept procrastinating.
Maybe this time I can certify.
Maybe this time I can certify.
Maybe I can trust myself.
Maybe I can trust myself.
Maybe I can trust my own sense of direction.
Maybe I can trust my own sense of direction. I've always been depending on someone.
I've always depended on someone else.
I've always depended on someone else.
And when I depend on someone else,
And when I depend on someone else,
I don't have to remember the road signs and where to go.
I don't have to remember the road signs and where to go.
So no wonder I
Exactly.
always get lost.
No wonder I always get lost.
That fear of failing,
That fear of failing,
relying on others,
relying on others,
not trusting myself
and
to rely
trusting
on
myself
myself
to rely on myself
because of fear of failure.
because of fear of failure.
Maybe I can let that go now.
Maybe I can let it go now.
Out of my lower stomach,
Out of
my
my
lower
out
stomach,
of my lower stomach,
out of under my ribs.
out of under my ribs.
I wonder what it would feel like
I wonder what it would feel like
to trust my own judgment
to trust my own judgment
and to be okay with failing or not failing.
and to be okay with failing or not failing.
I wonder what that would feel like
I wonder what it would feel like
to trust myself
to trust myself
and let go of procrastination
and let go of procrastination
and just get certified
and just get certified.
and just take that final exam.
Yeah, and just take the final exam.
I might fail.
I might fail.
I
It's
might
okay.
pass.
I might pass.
I might fail at first.
Yeah, I might fail at first.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn. That's how I learn. Yeah.
Releasing the procrastination.
Releasing the procrastination.
Fear of failing.
Fear of failing.
Not trusting myself.
Not trusting myself.
Especially when I'm on my own.
Especially when I'm on my own.
I might even take notice of road signs
I might even take notice of road signs.
and directions. And rely on myself.
And rely on myself.
I wonder what that will feel like.
I wonder what it will feel like.
How cool is that?
So cool. So whenever I'm anywhere, I'm so comfortable having someone to just let me know the direction. So from Arthur's Seat, from there, I asked Patrick, what is that place again? Because I've taken pictures and I have to inform my siblings that I'm here, but what is that place again?
Yeah. So it's about that, always relying on others, because then I don't have to rely on myself, and I don't have to take responsibility for failing.
Taking responsibility, I think it's that.
So there's probably some more work to do on that, but that's a good start. And we started
I'm
with
seeing a
physical,
number of
but we
things.
were sneaking up with just what's there for you. And we went around about the place a bit, which is called daisy chaining, going from one thing to another, like a daisy chain. Daisy chaining from one thing to another. But we started with physical, but it was about this thing. I always had this lack of direction. And I went to authority, I went to work, we didn't go much into father, because you didn't really say much, but he's a loving person, but we went into the
That's part of the
concept.
cognitive shift, no? Because I see my father now as really loving, in spite of all the things that he had done in the past.
Oh, well,
Thank you, Jane.
yay.